guess what? I'm back again. But I think it's been like 2 or 3 weeks, so this time I'm going to be doing an FL Studio tutorial. So obviously I'm not going to waste any time because I tried this one other time and I wasted too much time. So I ended up losing the entire recording because it was too long, so I'm not going to do that this time. If we just hop right on into it, I'm just going to press on the channel rack, which if you go to the top up here, up at the top, it's going to show all of this, but you're just going to want to go over here and you're going to see these. Don't press on these. These you don't use. These. So now you press on the third one to the right up at the top, and it'll see at the top left that it says View Channel Rack. Now if you click on that, it'll bring up this. This is your entire basis for using FL Studio. But basically, then you're going to want to get your sounds to use. So I have Hard Ass Drums Volume 1, but I'm not going to release it ever, so don't get your hopes up for any of it. But yeah, I like to use that, but you can use just the default stuff. Don't use drums, because that stuff is literally trash. Use drums in Mode Audio. The person who made these actually knew what they were doing, and so it works very well. But yeah, now I'm going to click on Hard Ass Drums Volume 1. You would click on your packs. I'm going to go into 808s, but if you go into the default stuff, there's no 808s in the packs. So when I bring this in and normalize it real quick and have it, regularly what you would do is you'd so you'd click on this. You see all this, but you're going to want to go down to the ones over here that say Synth Classic, and the second one down is Flex. Click on that, and then all of this stuff will show up. And this may seem pretty confusing, and trust me, it was for me when I started out, but you're not supposed to make an 808. These are all presets. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into Mobile Tuned 808 Bass right here. Now you're going to see all of this. You should what I suggest is click on 808 Boosted, because it just sounds good. See, it's pretty good. There's also Clean, which is that's a sine wave. That's if you want to do if you're looking to do an 808, that would be a good sub bass on the Crush one. Yeah, it's a pretty good sound, but if you're doing a regular old trappy one, do Amped actually. That's a pretty good one, but actually, you know what? Either bounced or boosted. Bounced or boosted are good ones. I like boosted more because it's longer and it just sounds better. I like the texture more. But I'm not going to be using that, but you probably should. So I have my 808 in, and if you're using a sample like I am, what you're going to want to do is turn down the attack all the way on these knobs, turn the hold up all the way, turn the decay down, turn the sustain down, and then turn the release down, aka turn all this down, but keep the hold all the way up. And that makes it so that when I hold a note, it'll play the note, but as soon as I let go, it'll just turn off. If I play it for the entire length of the sample, then it'll just go through the whole sample. But if I press it down for only a second and then let go, it'll just do a very tiny tidbit of that sample, so that could help if you're trying to make it so your 808s don't overlap. Basically after that, you're going to want to pick your other sounds. So I have all these. You can basically get the same stuff. I'm going to take this cymbal. You can also get cymbals in the Mode Audio pack. I'm going to use this one because I like it. And I'm just going to... Actually, no, I can keep it like this. Put it right there. And you'll see these numbers. And they may seem a little confusing. I'm just going to turn these up because I made a little bit of a mistake. And don't do this. So when you make your 808s, add a new one and then you could actually right click on something. You can right click on something and then you can hover over replace, so that it makes it so that you can replace that sample with something else, like flex. You would replace the bottom one with a flex sample and then put your cymbal underneath that. But yeah, basically, don't make that oopsie. So I'm gonna get my kick. Oh, and I like this one a lot. You may not be able to hear it so well, but when I normalize it, you probably hear it. And now I'm gonna get a snare. It says clap, so you're saying, oh, why don't you get a clap? Well, I don't regularly like to use claps. I mean, I have some cool stuff here, but I really like this one, like, a lot. So I use it, like, all the time. And I, like, turn up the start offset if there's, like, a little bit of a tail at the back. Just that starts immediately. It's like, oh no, there's nothing before it, so that if you were to just go da 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 da, none of it would be off time. It would just be straight to it. It would just be that sample and that sample only. Nothing behind it making it go off time. And now that I have my snare, I'm gonna get my hi-hat, which I like this one. And I'm gonna put it right there. And I turned all those up so I could make this number 3. So now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's on channel 5. This one's on channel 4. This one's on channel 3. This one's on channel 2, channel 1, vice versa, basically. So then what I like to do with my... Okay, so obviously you gotta normalize it, but then I have to turn it down. Because you never want your hi-hats to be super loud, because then they get, like, super annoying. So that sounds pretty good. Now I'm gonna turn it down a quarter of the way, and this makes it sound like this. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's nice, alright? So now basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna make a pattern out of these sounds that you would have picked out. Now of course we're not always trying to make trap, and not everyone's gonna like make trap the same way if they are making trap. But this is just the way I make it. I'm just telling you how I make music in FL Studio. So I have all my samples here. I like to start off with what my kick is gonna be like. So hold up, I'm just gonna make this the length I want it. Nah, I'm just gonna do that. Just don't mess with that. This is the swing knob. If you're gonna make like boom bap, then I would suggest using this. It just makes it gives it a lot of groove. But yeah, so you place this right here, and then you place your snare like right around there. It's like 2 of these in front. Sorry, I don't really know the proper stuff. I'm still pretty new to this. But yeah, that would sound like this. Oh yeah, and a little extra thing that I like to do is I like to go into the mixer with my kick on track 1. Now I would take press on slot 1, see 3D parametric EQ 2, open that up. Right click on this blue one at the very end, go down to type, press on low pass, then I just drag it over, and then sounds pretty good. And actually, no, I like to drag it so it's like right over the green, just that there's like still some high end. I don't want it to be like completely low end because I still want the thumpiness of it. But just to add even more thumpiness and even more like hardness to it, what I like to do is I like to take this and like boost the mids. Not that much. Kind of like that. If I like do that. See, that sounds pretty good to me. I like that. Then just to like improve how my snare sounds, I go into the EQ. Sorry, wait. I just have to select the snare. So I have to close out of these. I end up making this mistake a lot, but I do this, and then I open up mixers. See, now it plays. I go into here, press on this, go on type, and then you see a high pass, press on that, and just bring it over. I like right there, and then you like can boost. Boosting the highs a little bit also helps out. I like that. So I'm gonna keep that So now we got solid kick and snare. But after placing this pattern, it should sound like this. Great. And then now if you just place that there, I'm just doing this to mark. Alright, so obviously I like to put my kick right there, just to like make it go like boom, boom, really quick, and it sounds nice. I like it. But then if I do that, that sounds good. This pattern right here that you see sounds good. See, that sounds pretty good for trap. And then you see your hi-hat, just right click on it and then press fill each 2 steps. And then I'll go like this. See, that sounds pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into, so you see these, you're going to go into velocity, which is the blue one. And now for your hi-hats, you're going to want to make it so that every other hi-hat is like down here. And you may be asking, well, what would be the point of that? It just gives it some extra groove. Because playing around with the velocity, it can really add some uniqueness to your beat. And then sometimes at the last 2 ones, you can make it like go up. Or have this one be down and then have this one be regular. Kind of like. See? That's like a unique bit to your beat and it's really nice. But then we have to get into, we're not quite ready to get into the complicated part yet. It's not really that complicated, but just to add a little zest, I take my cymbal and I put it right at this kick, so it goes. But you might notice that that's a little loud, so you could just turn down the volume and I like that. So actually, no, okay, no, we're good. So I like that. So now we're gonna move on to the 808s, which is kind of complicated, but not really. So yeah. For your 808s, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna go to your 808. Now up here, well, you have to select this first. Like you have to press on this little thing, and then you see this, the piano. Press on that, and it'll make it so it's your piano roll. Click on that, opens your piano roll. Now you're gonna wanna. That's a little high. So I'm going to go down to the lowest note where everything else is. Boom. That's where it should be, right there. That's nice. So I'm just going to do this little pattern I like to do a lot of the time. Wait, I accidentally did this. Go to cell. Do this. Alright, so then you're going to put it right on the... You're basically just going to put it on the kicks, but... What I like to do is, at the very end with these, I like to make it 2 2s, and make these 1. Now, if you double click on them, don't right click, because that deletes stuff. Press on the slide, and then you can drag it up. I like this. See, that sounds pretty good. And sometimes you can like play around with making it like 1 long and 1 short. So yeah, I like how that sounds, and sometimes you can like. See, I like how that sounds, so that's basically like my little trap beat I like. You could also add like a little baby, like make this one higher. Make this one just a little higher. And something I like to do is you click on the control button and you go to pan and do that. And you can do that. And you can't hear it, but it sounds pretty cool. So yeah, that's basically my beat making tutorial. I hope you liked it, and this is what the final result was.